Good day, YouTube. As promised, roughly 1 year ago, I am bringing to you a 1-year long-term review of the Victorinox Rangergrip 71 Gardener. You can see it's been put to some use there. In fact, needs a little maintenance, it looks like. So there it is. There's the guy. There's the big one. This is a good-sized knife. Actually, and so, you know, if you're just kind of the average gardener and you're not super into maybe big blades, this may not be the guy for you. But I've found that for most of my kind of utility purposes, this is small enough and a good enough size. And you know, normally when I just carry around every day, I carry something like this. Or if I'm going on more strenuous adventures, I'll carry in my pocket like the Spyderco Paramilitary 2, but this is a good gentleman's pocket knife. And this is a good gentleman's gardener multi-tool. And I really like it. This is a super awesome, super useful tool. It's held up really well. This saw is still, I think, Victorinox has the best pocket saws out of any of the multi-tools. Top down, or hands down, top to bottom, smelly feet and everything else. These scissors have turned out to be tougher than I had really expected, and actually quite useful, especially when it came to deadheading and doing smaller tasks around the garden, pruning. And I actually used it a lot. I have used it a lot, especially for like my natural medicine stuff, where I have to cut flower heads, but leave the leaves and stalks like that. And having this around, this has really been kind of a one-tool option and a solid companion. And it came with the tweezers, which come in handy when you get little slivers, and there was a toothpick in there, which I didn't use and haven't missed since I lost it in some place that's not here. But I want to get down really to the crux of this deal, and kind of why I would say don't spend your money. I love this thing and it's beautiful, but at the end of the day, I have to ask, why? For myself, I spend most of my time gardening with this guy, the Green Tisserie Hori Hori. We'll got another year-long review coming up on that pretty soon. But on this, when it comes down to actual pruning and working with my plants, there's really nothing I do that can't be accomplished with this. This was one of the more expensive Hori Horis, a $25 thing. You can get it for 10 bucks, and another $10 pair of pruning shears. Why spend 80 bucks on this thing when you have everything you need in those other two tools? And not only could you spend less, but the fact is even if you had just a small shovel and your pruning shears at a yard sale, you've spent 5 bucks and you have everything you need in your garden. Why bother with this thing? It doesn't change that it's a phenomenally well-made tool. It is super useful, but I can't imagine why you would need this for your average gardening tasks. There's just not a big enough role to fill. Now, when it comes to some wilderness work, perhaps, I have used this in my wilderness plant harvesting for the natural medicines that I make, my salves and tinctures and things like that. Super useful, having that saw and having this blade here for removing bark and taking off branches, for various things like that, and having the scissors available for, you know, harvesting one part of a plant versus another. This has been a phenomenal tool for that purpose. And so if you're an outdoorsman or a bushcrafter or just kind of a collector and enthusiast, this is going to be a phenomenal tool for you. I just wish it had maybe a screwdriver instead of this, or an awl. I guess your average gardener maybe drinks more than I do. That's alright. You do you, boo-boo, and I'm gonna do me. And I'm gonna say, Victorinox, give me a screwdriver and awl. Way more useful. But after that, you know, it's ultimately, God, this is an amazing tool, but you probably don't need it. I didn't need it. I love it and I use it, but I didn't need it. So there you have it. Thanks for checking out this video. Watch, subscribe, like it if you like it, thumbs down it if you don't. There'll be a link into the Instagram and the Facebook page of For This Land, and I hope that was helpful for you. Have a wonderful day. Don't get eaten by a bear.